Here we go. Ready. Hi guys. Um, I'm here and it's back to Gaia the game. Been a while. So yeah, I set up to start with the drawbridge because we're gonna have to start working on this to get some mechanics going. And for that I will need to cut this thing into pieces. Otherwise I will have no working drawbridge. And um, yeah, I'm going to have to play around with that a little bit, have to fiddle around with that, because basically I'm not 100% sure what will work and what will not. Um, as I always said, I am no expert. Uh, there's a lot of stuff I don't know, and what I don't know, I try to figure out with you guys on stream. So, um, yeah, let's uh, let's get on the road. I would say, because one of these things, for example, is a railing. We only have a small piece here. So I'm going to have to cut stuff out and put them on separate layers because this is going to be a foreground layer basically. So um, we're going to have some different parts, like basically this line here that you see. That's uh, the ground that she walks on. So will this be? This part is also a ground layer because this is where she can walk on, and it will continue on the other side basically. So that's the only part that is ground layers. And then you have foreground layers, which is basically this part, the wall, because you will not interact with it. Um, this chain is going to be foreground because it's on the front. And then you have another one that's in the back layer. I hope I put them all in the correct layers, otherwise I'm going to have to move some stuff around. Then you have this one, which is obviously a foreground layer, and you have some stuff here that is background. So basically she can walk in front of this, she can walk behind this. And this chain, for example, that's a little bit of a difficult one because we will have one in the foreground and one in the background, and it should move at the same time. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this, I'm sure. Uh, but before we're done with that, might be quite a long time. It's not that easy for me to figure this out. I got some tips from somebody on Discord. I don't know if I can make it as easy as they make it sound, but let's try and we will see where we get, right? So, whatever we cannot figure out now, we will figure out another time. Hey, Decidius, nice for you to join. I hope you're having a great time. And yeah, we made affiliate. Now there's stuff we can do that we couldn't do before. Yay! Isn't that cool? People can subscribe now, and with Prime, they can do it even for free. So yeah, we're gonna have a different kind of fun now. And there's points to be earned. And people who are followers, I think you get already 300 points. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, you can spend that on stuff. I don't even know how all of it works. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna have some custom rewards later when I know how to do it. Um, I was thinking like maybe put some new rewards in, like make me talk like Gandalf that people seem to think I am, or like Bob Ross, because I seem to be able to draw some happy little drawbridges and stuff like that. So let's see what we can do, and maybe later I can also go for um, things that should cost a lot of points, or maybe donations or whatever, but to have your own character in the game, so you can actually uh, be a non-playing character in the game or something. That could be a very nice reward to give away. Um, but yeah, for that I also need to be much better, I guess, at doing the pixel art. Uh, but yeah, we can start with something and see where we get from there, right? So yeah, what basically I'm gonna have to do, because yeah, as you see, we have a lot of layers here, and the player is just for reference, so I know how big everything is. So the player will turn off, and then we're gonna have to do everything in its own separate layer, and then put stuff together in Unity. I have here my playing around level, and I have a very weird bug that I don't understand. That if I use this water reflection, if I click on it, then suddenly it jumps and snaps into place. I have no clue why, but that's something I'm going to have to figure out later. It's not so important right now. This is just my test level. I even call it Spielerij, I think. Let me see. What did I call it? Spielerij. Yeah, Spielerij. Just to play around, do whatever I want with that, and see where it takes me. And here I wanted to start testing the drawbridge um, um, functionality, basically. So what I'm gonna want to do, and for that I'm gonna go to the scene, of course, is put in here my parts of the drawbridge, make it one new object that I can put different parts in. I had already done something like that, and I think the prototyping or intro scene, I don't know, one of them. I have some other scenes that I've been playing with. This is one that I use for a lot of images, basically. You've started a new Blender project, modeling and animating a wooden mannequin. Oh, cool. And that mannequin is going to walk or just stand still? Because, yeah, usually mannequins stand still, but in games you never know. They can start to do suddenly crazy stuff, right? Maybe it can dance or do karate kicks, I don't know. I also have my prototyping level, which is lighter. Hmm. And yeah, I thought I had somewhere already the drawbridge working, but that was just something that I turned off, I think. It was in the ground layer, I think. Yeah, see, I had something, but this part of the drawbridge is basically nothing more than just this. You will have to see what the Udemy course suggests to make first. Ah, you're following a Udemy course. Which one are you following? The one of, what's this guy's name again? Grant Abbott? He's like the Blender guru on Udemy, I think. Most of the people follow him. Always hydrate, guys. Always hydrate. Most important thing in your life. Keep hydrating. Anyway, this is what I had before. I'm gonna not use what I have here, but to show you what I had, there was a script on this. I think I can show you if it still works. Haven't tested this in 3 months, 2 months. Don't know. Haven't did for a long time. Not Grant this time. It's a French guy, Alex Cordebard. I hope I get his last name correct. I have no clue. I don't know this guy, but yeah, I don't know anyone. So the only things I know is Game Dev TV courses, the courses from Thomas Brush, Jason Wyman. Of course, I know. Who doesn't know that guy? He's a very good architect. So see, this is what I had working, and that will eventually drop Gaia off, I think, if I keep going long enough. Because this drawbridge basically goes, and then she cannot stand anymore there, and she will fall off. There you go. So this part was working and it stops at a certain moment and it will not open any further. I think that's this moment. So the functionality of rotating the bridge on this part, basically the end part, that I have. But now I want to do this stuff with pixel art and in particular with these different layers. So what I'm going to have to do is split this up in parts. Things that will stay static I will keep static, and other parts will basically um, have to start moving. And the things that start moving are this part, this, because basically it's static because it's not going to move much with that, but it's moving, and the chain. And the one that is giving me a headache on how to do it is the chain. Worst case scenario, if I cannot get that to work yet, I will just drop the chain for now and see how I do it later, I guess. Because basically, um, I'm pretty sure I can get this part working to open the bridge. I want it less high than I did last time. Yes, this is a sprite. Yes, that's correct. Um, and I'm no a sprite guru. I will already tell you that also. Sorry, I keep looking there because there's the chat, but you're there. Sorry. Yes, it's a sprite. I'm no a sprite guru. I do whatever I can. I'm learning on the go because I never really created pixel art before myself. Always had other people who did that, and now I'm having to do it myself because basically the one that was basically doing my pixel art got too busy. Poor guy had a normal life he wanted to do also, so he was only 17 years old. So as a 17-year-old, he came from school, then started working life, and there goes his time. I can totally relate to that. I really know how that feels. But for me, that means now I have to do this stuff myself, and it means I will have to take a lot of time to actually do these things. Um, and yeah, like I said, I'm learning. There's probably stuff I do wrong or could have done much better, but I don't know how. So I think I closed down my layers here. Why I don't know, but where's my layers? Can you actually throw away your layers? I don't see them. Layer edges is not what I mean. No, no. Where the hell? It's interesting though, because it shows me the layers that I have, but kind of uh, wondering where they are. Here's layers, flat and visible, properties, lock layers, properties. No. Huh? I didn't even know I could turn those off. That sucks. Um, I have no clue how I did that. You know what? Let's not go into too much trouble with that. Let's start it again. There we go. There's also, by the way, if you wondered about if this is a sprite, yes, it is a sprite. But there's also something called Libre Sprite, but I don't know if it's still continued. I think it was discontinued. What the heck? I just turned it off. Okay, now I'm gonna have to Google this shit because I don't know where to do that. Um, a sprite layers window. Where did it go? Where did it go? Layers, frames, and play animation window disappeared. Must be easy to get that back. Must be. I can't even remember that I did it. I prefer the preview to be gone because that is really not in my way. I don't need that to be there. Or maybe it's very small. Press tab. View timeline. View timeline. There you go. Thank you, Google. I had no clue where it went. That's how you see that I do not know what I'm doing, right? Anyway, what I did before when I opened this stuff was just turn on all the layers. Oop, not turn it off, turn it on, except for the player. And now what we're going to have to do is make sure that everything is in their correct layer. And I already saw I don't have everything in the correct layer. So now I'm going to have to see where is everything. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. All the railing parts are here and I need to take them out. What can stay basically is this floor part. It could be there basically because everything that is on the layer here could technically just go and be in the brick wall layer. I'm not sure if I will do that basically because um, I'd probably want the ground to be a separate layer. And to do that, I'm starting already with the layers that I know I will have so I can move them to their respective um, places basically so you can walk behind and in front of it. I take it you didn't manage to submit something this year. Well, I did actually, Decidius. I did submit my project, but I also wrote everywhere big disclaimers that you just drop through the floor, because that's all that happened. As soon as you would start the level, you go through the through the terrain, and I tried to fix it, but I had like 10 minutes to try, and I couldn't. So I just submitted it. And I was like, I know you cannot do it, you cannot play, you cannot do anything, but it's there, and it's up to the judges if they want to um, disqualify me for not having anything that works. That is, it is the case, and it's what it is. I do want to work on it some other day, and I'm pretty sure I will. So I just keep the project and see it later. For now, I want to also keep working on Gaia, the game, because basically it's an important game for me. So yeah, let's see. I see I still have some debug text here. Getting here. You guys don't see that. That's fortunate because it looks really stupid. Anyway, I'm going to have to place the parts, the different parts of the construction in their own respective layers. Just write in the description. This game is about you trying to get out of a sinkhole solo. Spoiler, not possible. Yeah, that would have been good, right? Then I could just say, you see, it is a game, and you just don't manage to play it. You don't manage to play it. You should be able to just walk around. You just go, jump up or something. You cannot figure out the controls. Hey, you don't have to be held by the hand for everything. Nah, that's not fair. So basically, I wrote in a disclaimer very, very clearly. You can try and play it if you want, but nothing will happen. You just fall down. It's a game you can never win. Yeah, that's the other dimension. You just fall through the dimensions. That's also right. It would be great. And it's two dimensions, so you fall through the first dimension and then you die. Very quick game for people who do not have much time. I see advantages. No, basically it was terrible, and I'm very sorry for everyone who did a lot of time into putting their game in properly, uh, and I just suck. That's basically what it is. I suck. And yeah, that is what it is. I mean, I cannot make more of it. It's just that. So this gray box is that thing. I can take that out so I can make my railing first. It's been a while that I did Sprite. I've been doing Unity and Visual Studio last time, so gotta get used to it again. Control X. Why did that not work? Should take it out, right? Hmm. Hmm. Where did the railing go? Ah, that's the bridge left that it should go out from. Duh. Yeah, see? Now it's gone. And it's back. What was harder is these parts. And I'm sure there's also tricks for this. There must be tricks for this. But with the bridge left, yeah, it also has the pillar. Hmm. I guess I can get away with keeping that because it's in front of the front. So you will not see it anyway. I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a lasso tool where I can just select all this and then everything except for the stairs, basically the inclination here, because the inclination is part of the ground floor. But I do not know how to do it. So I will do it the hard way, I guess. Sometimes I hate it to be me. It's not that easy to do it easier. Let's control D this stuff. So we have to go like from here. Oh, that's too much. One pixel more. There we go, there. Can take all of that. And I will basically take all of that too. Control. That's in the wrong layer. Control X. And put that in here. That's not exactly true. Should not all be there. But semantics. At least that is in its own place, so that's good. But the railing now has too much. Because without the railing, I do not have this pillar. Um, and basically the floor. This is going to take some time. I hope you guys can bear with me here. Um, I even went too far in this. Or did I? Oh, that's okay, because it's in its own layer. That's good. The railing is there. So that is okay. Hey, unexpected game dev, so nice of you to join us. Even if you're lurking, I'm fine with you lurking. You're probably doing some studying again or something, right? Or you're with the kids. Either of the two. In any case, welcome and glad you're back to see me. I'm struggling a little bit with how I'm going to make this happen. This is going to be tough. I'm going to have to do it in different layers. Save everything in different layers, putting it together in Unity, and then do my mechanics, which is definitely not going to be easy. But I'm quite interested to see how it will look when I'm actually animating this stuff using code. Oh, won't be easy, but yeah, nobody got better from just doing the easy things, right? So let's see how far we can get with this. I always see a lot of names that I have no clue if they're actually in the chat or it's just my OBS telling me that there's people who are not there. Maybe there's ghosts. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It will just take me time, and time is my friend. We all love time, don't we? I love time. I should have a separate layer for this white pillar because that pillar is always there. I should have a separate layer for that ground part where they walk on. God, I need a lot of layers. I love more time. Yes, I also do. I see a few ghost accounts that are also in my chat when I stream. Yeah, there's names that I've never seen talking, and they're always there. Uh, well, not when you just start, but I mean, yeah, maybe they're actually there. I do not know. That's the part that you never know. Maybe it's just OBS, or maybe it's just Twitch making you think that you have people in your chat that are not there. I don't know. Maybe it's just to give you incentive to keep going. I like to think that they just want me to keep going. They don't want me to lose faith in myself. Really, I don't want to lose faith in myself either. So that's a great thing. Um, anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was making new layers. That's correct. Now I know again. So I'm going to make a new layer here, and that's going to be basically below. Oh yeah, I always have to think of how to do that. This is annoying because you have to be exactly on the correct spot so you can actually move the layer. No, I do not want that. Where is it? Where is my move? There. Yeah, there. It goes. No, didn't go. I'm sure it's easier for some people, but yeah, there you go. Should be. It doesn't move, does it? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Yeah, for sure. I will keep swimming. Okay, maybe first rename that thing anyway. I'm gonna call this ground. Why? Because we need a ground layer. And I somehow turned off the railing. And it is visible, so that is weird. Unlink was linked. Because the ground now is on top of it, I guess. How on earth? That damn thing doesn't want to do what I want to do. I should be able to move this thing, but I can't get it to move. I've moved it before. It's just getting to a certain corner, you get that icon and you can move it, but now I cannot get that icon. That just moves this, then not really useful. I hate it when it doesn't work. Okay, delete layer. Where on earth? Why can I not get this visible again? Ah, I just turned my opacity to 0. But how do I get it back? Huh? I was trying to move a layer, but it doesn't want to work, and my railing opacity just went to 0 that I cannot move it. I cannot change that damn thing. Huh? Maybe I should not save and just open it again, because this is ridiculous. Cell properties, cell Usually I'm able to move this stuff, but I can't. What? If here I can move it, right? This one I can't. It says 255, but it just isn't. Double click on the railing. Yeah, but I don't see it anymore. It's gone. All my railing here is gone. It is on the other side. Hmm. Yeah, and indeed, Control Z. I'm starting to think like I should do that because quirks of A Sprite. There you go. It was just because I was trying to move layer 1 that something went wrong. Okay, maybe I should not be selecting stuff to when I move. Because I'm used to being able to move my layers. But I'm not able to move them. Huh? Yeah. And then move, yeah. But I need to get really in a specific area to be able to move it. There we go. Ah, wow. There we go. We got something. I was trying to make a ground layer here. Thank you. It is very specific, and with a mouse you can hardly get there. Anyway, I need to move stuff from the railing part now into the ground layer, and also from the bridge left, I would say. No, not from the bridge left. Bridge left. Oh, there's some small quirks here. Yeah, the blue border does the trick. I know. Yeah, I've made some really weird things when I did this one before. Because now if I unselect bridge left, there's a gap. And where does that go then? Did it go into railing? Must be. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Brick wall. That's that. Okay, so the top part of the brick wall goes into the ground. But only the top 2 pixels. Wow, this is going to be a long day, guys. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best not to be so quirky and dumb. So, this goes into, should do it on the correct layer, brick wall, Control X, then put it into ground, Control V. There we go. You're almost out of coffee, Decidius. That is a world disaster. Yeah, go buy, go buy. Make sure you get some from me too, right? I need coffee because you already can tell I'm not on my best without it. I have water; it doesn't do the same trick. Right, where were we? We are here. So we want to have bridge left. No, we want to have railing now. And we want to have the white part of that. And then these parts to go into ground. Well, not even. all I want really is the bottom part. So let's turn off everything that is possibly in my way. I don't want to know the rest. All I want is this part. Coffee for 3 people. Gotcha. Very good. good, good thing the city is. Maybe that should be one of the rewards. Drink a coffee or something. Maybe you would put that. Yeah. I mean, talk like Gandalf is nice. Talk like Bob Ross would be nice. Maybe create my person as a NPC would be a very high reward, of course. Because yeah, of course now you get channel points. You got to do something with those damn things, right? Otherwise, why the heck would you have them? And yeah, also a quick reminder: if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to me, and you can do it for free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it does give the channel money. So just saying, no pressure. Coffee for 3 people. Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. Okay, so now we have our ground layer. And I have a feeling that somehow it is in bridge left. Okay, so I cut something out of bridge left. That should be in ground. This is going to take me a while to do. Setting up your layers is very important, I can tell. Now, sometimes this stuff would not be so hard, but this is not going to be that easy. I guess I'm going to just draw over it in ground and then just delete it from the other things. I guess that would be easiest, right? If I just draw over it. I have to get the color. There we go. Thing is, I will not know that I'm doing it correctly because I cannot see a damn thing. So this is going to be a big guessing game that I will have to check up on right after I do this. And yeah, again, most people who are good at pixel art will probably think I'm dumb. It's fine with me. Think whatever you want. And there probably is a better way. I do it the way I know how. At least so I will have a general feeling. Hey, One Lion, thank you so much for that awesome raid. That is cool. 14 people. Welcome, everyone. If you're here and you've never been here before, welcome. Welcome very much. I am working on my game Gaia. Gaia is the one you see in my right corner here below. That's my main character. She's my daughter, almost 5 years old at the moment, and she's going to be the main character in my game called Gaia. It's a game mostly set in Greek mythology. I'm really crazy about Greek mythology, so you will learn that quickly once you get to know me. It's going to have about 10 levels, I think. Not sure yet. In Greek mythology, I've already written out 10 levels at least, so maybe there's going to be more. I do not know. Maybe less if I cannot find the time. And my first level will be set in Amsterdam. Why Amsterdam, you ask me? Because I'm Dutch and I wanted to give it a little bit of a personal touch. So the first level needs to be recognizable. Could draw my village, but nobody will recognize that. That's 900 people, so I don't think anybody would know. Hello, Dukasoft. Welcome, welcome. Uh, Thank you for being here and thank you for following. That's also super nice. I will zoom out a little bit to show you guys what I'm trying to do. At the moment, I'm working on getting my drawbridge that I will turn on a little bit more so you have an idea of what it looks like. Turning it into separate layers that I can use to animate it inside of Unity. Because in Unity, I already made a small prototype here where I have a drawbridge that slowly opens. Wait for it to compile. I'm sorry, my laptop is not the fastest, but it works, and that's the most important. Where you can see what my ideas of the drawbridge. It will have to open up. It's the first part of the level that the player will learn how to use mechanics like jump, and jumping is obviously important also. And of course now it loads like very slow. Uh, you're gonna grab a lunch snack. Have a good meal. You should be making sure that you take care of yourself. So anyway, once it loads, you will see that this starts to open. This is a part of the level where the player will learn to jump, um, and also the part where she will leave poor daddy, me, behind, because I cannot keep get away from my brother, from my son, her brother, and he's still 2 years old, so I cannot leave him alone. She will figure out that she can jump, so she jumps over the bridge. I cannot follow, and then she sees a portal which she crosses and goes into the world of the Greek mythology. And that's where the game will really start. So as you can see, this I can already have working. The part where it gets more interesting and more hard is with the pixel art. Because in the pixel art, as you can see, I have some pretty interesting elements. First of all, she's walking behind a railing, so that's a foreground layer. Then you have this where she walks behind, that's also a foreground layer. She walks behind of this, and that's also a foreground layer. But this, she walks in front, because that's in the background. So you get a little bit of a three-dimensional feeling. So I'm going to have to cut everything into parts. This, of course, is the floor she walks on, as is this, and this is starting to move. So this is not moving, this is static place. Then this will start to be what you just saw opening up. The harder part about this is that it has a chain here, and this is basically a solid stick that doesn't move much, just goes up with the bridge, so it will not have to change. But the chain does. The chain will, yeah, fold basically a bit more, and I'm gonna have to figure out how I will do that. For me, that is a new thing. I'm learning things as I go. Um, I'm always saying that if I do my stream, this is beginner friendly also for other people. I'm learning this as I do it, and I'm sure other people have these kind of problems as well and don't know how to do this. I might not figure it out. I might help figure it out with the help of my chat. I don't know. I might figure it out with the help of ChatGPT, Google. I don't care, but I will figure it out because it's a very important mechanic for my game, and I want it to be there. So that's what I'm working on today. I'm gonna try to get this working, and yeah, if uh, if I can do it today, it will be fine. If not, I will do it another time. I will keep going for it, and I will find a solution if it's the last thing I do. So what I was doing right now is basically I'm not the greatest uh, artist in Sprite, and I'm trying to recreate everything that is ground, which is now, for example, in my bridge left. So and in my railing part. So basically things that are there, I'm trying to recreate just by drawing over them. So they're in the correct layer, then I can erase them basically from the other layers. Um, Probably is the easier way. If I figure it out, I might use it for the rest. If I don't, it's fine too. I will do it my way, as long as it's there in the end. So I will continue doing the ground. I was just checking where I was anyway. I'm there. Okay. So yeah, at the moment I'm trying to draw this over the existing one to be specific and in the correct places. So good thing about it is that I don't have to be exact. I can always look back later if I had every pixel that I should have. And yeah, you can change the opacity. I've also learned that. But if you change the opacity and you draw on that, then oof, you get a mess. So anyway, I saw that when I did the Rijksmuseum. Oh yeah, by the way, that's a good thing. I will show you that later. What I did with the Rijksmuseum. It's the biggest museum in the Netherlands, by the way, and I'm not done with it yet. I've done a lot for it, but it's not done. It's a daunting piece of pixel art, I will tell you, because I'm trying to do everything by hand. based on a drawing that they made for the building way back when. I think the drawing said it was from 1822 or something. It's a very old building drawing of Rijksmuseum before it was actually built. And I've already figured out from photos there's some inconsistencies. Some things are not there anymore. But it will do perfectly fine for my purposes to get a recognizable version of Rijksmuseum for my game. So I'll open that for you guys now so you can have a look at what I made so far. I will have to zoom out a little bit. As you can see, this is an insanely big project, and I've turned off the reference drawing. That's right here. So as you can see, this is a pretty big um, museum. And if I turn off my building basics, then you can see that I'm pretty good with placing my objects right now. Um, I will still have some to do. I didn't do everything yet, but most of it is there, and from here I can keep going. All the windows are in their correct places, so I can start doing that later. There's some arches that I will have to do, and I will have to do these arches that you see here. That's something I will have to do later also, and some other tiny little details, because this building is full of tiny little details. It's almost scary, but I want it to actually look like the museum, so that when I'm done with that, people will say like, okay, that is the Rijksmuseum indeed. So I hope I succeed with that. Then I also made a bakery, and that is this one. And that I have to change a little bit because it still feels a little bit too much like it's coming forward, like it's top down maybe a little bit. And that was not my intention. I wanted to be straight, but the colors here basically got chosen by my daughter herself. She saw me work on this, and she had no idea what I was doing because she's 4 years old. And she saw this and she was like, "What is that, Papa?" And all she saw me do was like basically this because I was making details. He's like, "What is that? I have no clue what I'm looking at." I said, and I zoomed out and said, "This is a building that I'm making for a game about you." And she started to brighten up in her face. About me? Yes, about you. I'm making a game about you. And then she wanted to know more, because of course, that's my daughter. Curious as always. And then when she figured out what that means, she was like, okay, but then it has to be this color, and you will have to put purple buildings also, because that's my favorite color, purple and pink. And it needs to be in there. So these colors of this are based on what she likes. And Amsterdam is perfect for it basically because there's a lot of places there where you can actually see different colors of houses. And they don't have to be accurate. So if there's a red house there somewhere, why not make it purple? It works. And I will make it for her. Anyway, without further ado, I was still working on this one. And I need to see how far I was. Because at a certain moment it doesn't continue anymore. So my ground layer is until there. My railing layer is, I think, also until there. What is on top of that? That. And then we have our bridge left moving. Yeah, we're going to have some of that as well. So when I turn this off now, so my ground goes a little too far at the moment. Because it should stop right here. So if you think I cannot see anything, that's correct. I couldn't either. But it works. Just in the ground layer, so that's okay. And here I can delete everything else. Don't need that anymore. Mimip Hello, Mehmet. Hey, have you used GPT-4 for programming? If so, how much do you use it a day and what do you think? Uh, no, I have not used GPT-4 yet. I'm using the free version basically every now and then. I don't use it that much yet. To be honest, I found that it gives a lot of bad answers. I use it mainly to bounce ideas off. So what I usually do um, is um, is try to see what it suggests when I ask it a question. So, for example, if I would ask it, how would you create a drawbridge in Unity using C sharp code? I will see what it produces, and then I will often see that there's a lot of mistakes in there. And then it's funny to talk to it because it feels like you're talking to yourself. I could tell it, like, this I don't think is working. I think you've missed this. And then it will say, oh, yes, of course, you're right. And it starts changing it. And that's it's kind of funny. But the biggest problem I see so far in GPT, and I've seen some people use GPT-4 as well, is that its model is trained until 2021. So there's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't work yet or works different now. So yes, I see a lot of advantages of using GPT. I do not have the cash at the moment to buy a paid version or go to GPT-4 because for GPT-4 you have to pay, which you obviously will know. I'm sure of it. Um, so for me at the moment it's not an option yet to do it, which doesn't mean I will not in the future. Okay, 2021 is a lie. They have it with more up-to-date info, not much, but some. Yeah, okay, maybe that's true. I don't know. The only thing I know is that I sometimes saw, and obviously that doesn't have to be true, even ChatGPT saying back to the user, I do not have this data because I've been trained up to 2021. I don't have data from after that. So, um, but yeah, BART is also a very nice option, and there's others at the moment that are starting to come up. And what I think basically about all those different ChatGPT or other AI tools, I think they will find their place. And I think they're basically going to do the same that Google did before for everyone else. Uh, I always say, and I still mean it, everyone who is a good developer knows how to Google. If you don't know what to look for, you will never find your results. And the same goes for all the AI tools that are out there. If you do not know what to ask such an engine, you will not get results that are worthy of anything you want to do. Uh, it's trained on that so much that it just says that 2001 when it refuses. So yeah, I mean, um, I see a lot of people afraid at the moment, like, yeah, it's going to take over the jobs of all the developers. I think that's bogus. It's bullshit. Of course it will not. Um, Good developers will learn to use it, and the same is, I think, for artists. Artists is a little bit trickier, of course. There's a lot of artists who did their work, and things like Leonardo and the all the other ones that are out there. There's so many right now that I cannot at the moment even remember them. But all those things are using art that has been made by somebody and putting it together to create new art. It's basically what artists also do, but there is a fine line there with copyrights. So with art, I can imagine people are not too happy about that. But with programming, I think it's just going to be getting used to it and using the tool to your advantage. Stop complaining, just do what you need to do, and you will be able to figure it out. That's what I think. But yeah, I do think you will need to know how to use them just like you need to know how to Google to program. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. You cannot do without the knowledge of using a tool to your advantage. If you don't know how to use it, you will in the end be behind because people do and they go faster. People will not hire you because you do not know how to use those tools to your advantage. So you'll be much slower with your programming work than others. Um, I think it will thin the pool. You will need to learn it, but there is a difference between automation and augmentation. Of course, there is Yeah, there's a lot of differences, and basically it's with every tool. You need to learn how to use it. If you can master it, then you're the one who's gonna stay. If you can't master it, you're gonna walk behind, and that's how it is. Hey, Half Moon, nice that you're here. Yeah, we're affiliate now. You can subscribe and everything. You can use points. You have channel points and all those great stuff that I still have to figure out how to use. Just somebody reminded me you should tell the people that if they have Amazon Prime, they can subscribe for free, and it gives your channel still money. So yeah, it's and everything. Yes, it's shifting towards AI. I think more and more people will start to use it in different ways. Uh, I think also with um, the art generation, I think for me, I also use it sometimes, but what I use it for is concept art. So I will get something out of it that I can use and build my own things on. For example, this drawbridge, I wish I had a good good reference image. The only thing I have is photos that are not clear, not from the front, from the side, and everything. I have to change it anyway. Um, no, I have not seen Photoshop generative fill yet. Must be very interesting. But that's probably one of the newer versions of Photoshop, I guess, right? My Photoshop doesn't go beyond Photoshop 2020 at the moment. I use Photoshop though. I'm better at Photoshop than I am in Sprite. Sorry already. Photoshop beta. Very good, and it's out right now. You know what I've also seen? And I also don't have that basically, but in Unity there's also a package you can download, and you can use ChatGPT, but also other things to generate stuff for you. So that's amazing for a quick prototype, of course. And it's going to get more and more powerful. I mean, everybody knows that it's going to happen. So you better be prepared because it's going to happen. At least that's how I look at it. And I think most people should. If you got a free second, you should look at a quick video on their website. Let me open that. Still have no rules against anybody posting any links here. So I see some people having rules against that. I still am a trusting type. So please don't give me any viruses. That would not be so nice. Anyway, yeah, I have opened a Dream Bigger with generative fill. Northern Lights. Ah, okay. So you can put things in your background that you already have. That is indeed very interesting. Dream it, type it, see it. Yeah, I think this is going to be parts of the future. So basically, you have something that you designed, and you keep it empty or something like that, and you can just fill it up with something else. That is going to be very powerful for sure. But yeah, I also, like I said, I'm using it a lot for very simple prototyping or just getting a little bit of um, concept art out that I can actually build things upon. I had some very intricate artwork made for the Amsterdam level. Um, some of them are absolutely gorgeous. Others are clearly not pixel art. Um, and some are absolutely nigh on unusable. But you have to look through it, basically. Imagine that with a thought image with brain reading. Brain reading starts to be also a little bit scary, right? Because then they're actually doing what I think. That's a bit scary because I could do things that I might not want to show on the internet, you know? My brain goes sometimes faster than I want it to. And then I thought something that I shouldn't. And yeah, who's gonna monitor that, huh? They also did it with LLMs where it did thoughts as text. Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm a pretty open-minded person with a lot of technique, also with AI. But there is things that I don't want yet, and one of these things is them reading my mind. Um, for me, that's basically you can also go too far, and a lot of people are talking like doom scenarios, like the AI is going to take over the world and it's going to go crazy. And they're thinking of movies like Terminator, where the AI will basically not just self learn, but um, see humans as a threat. And yeah, if you think about it, humans are a threat to the world. It's also something that my game is partly going to be about, because it's also going to be about the environment. Um, I have no clue if I already had this. Well, I'll do it again. Because I want this game to be mostly story driven. It's not just about my daughter, it's also with the current problems in the world, and basically most of it, oh, that I didn't want to do. Most of it is about pollution and our world leaders making a mess of the world. And you think, Max, what the heck are you talking about? What does that have to do with Greek mythology? And I get that you think that. But my Greek mythology bosses are going to be a metaphor. They're not only uh, from Greek mythology, of course, they're going to be our world leaders, but in a different way. So, if you think about that, then any world leader could be one of those gods and is a boss that you have to defeat. And once you defeat a boss in a level, one of the Greek mythology levels, that part of the world will clean up again. Um, and my daughter is needed by the goddess Gaia herself to do that. Um, okay, sorry, I missed a lot in the chat, which is necessary because otherwise I would not know where I was. Um, it's all a double-edged sword. And yes, Half Moon. Yeah, what was I thinking, right? You never know. That's with wizards. You never know what they're thinking. At least they're thinking something useful. They're never thinking something wrong. uh, it's a double-edged sword. Most of the AI risk fear is manufactured so they can regulate, in my opinion. The government would abuse it way before we make it good enough for that. That's just my 2 cents. What happened to the Greeks is happening with our governments right now. Plato was right. Yeah, well, Nostradamus was also right. There's a lot of predictions that have been made in the past that are actually coming through. And that's not so weird, really, because if you think about it, a lot of it is predictable. That's also when you get those nice little horoscopes. I'm sure some of you already had those as well in your life. Many of the times you're thinking to yourself when you see that, yeah, obviously that's true. That is not so hard to say. It's predictable that you say that. And what the heck happened here? Because I had in my ground. Wait, okay. Yeah, okay, that's correct. Okay, sorry, got distracted for a second. um, um, what was I saying? Uh, if somebody tells you your future, how many times do you think to yourself, "Of course that is the truth"? Afterwards, when you hear it, you're like, "Of course that is true," because it could be true for my neighbor as well. It could be true for anyone. It's too common. But then with guys like Plato and Nostradamus, they had actually things that you could not predict in the future so much, but they're cryptic, and that makes it hard. Cryptical messages you can interpret in your own way, and that could mean that you get something completely different if you ask another person. So, how much of that was actually a prediction and how much of that was just rambling? You never know, right? Back with a bunch of coffee. I hope so, because there's plenty of people that came in the room while you were gone, man. Um, I don't know if all of them stayed, of course, but there were some people coming in for sure. So I hope you brought enough. And hey, everybody who wants some coffee, the Sidious has some for you guys. You just needed coffee, so he brought some for everyone. Thank you, the Sidious. Yeah, thank you. There we go. And I will do that as a hydration. Salute. Because that's always important. Keep drinking, even coffee. I've heard someone say in the past that coffee um, dehydrates you. Bullshit. Not drinking dehydrate you. Not coffee. Don't let anyone say otherwise. It's not true. It's just a lie. Just like the cake is a lie. Right. So I was removing stuff from here. So let's continue doing that. And I will have a gap later. I know. It's all good. It's just the white color. I can fill it up again. The quantity most people drink won't affect you that much. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, of course. But there's a lot of things that will dry you out. Uh, Stuff that dries you out most is things like alcohol. And yeah, a lot of people will just tell you, do not touch my alcohol, right? Um, I don't drink that much, but when I drink, you keep your paws off of it. It's mine. So if you ever want to treat me to something nice, I like special beers a lot. And I have one on my wish list that I don't think I will ever get. It's called Snake Venom. If you know it, you might already know what I'm talking about, but Snake Venom is a special beer that actually has a percentage of 67% alcohol. Now you might say, Max, what are you talking about? That's not beer, that's heavy liquor. True, I would say the same, except for the fact that it's distilled as a beer, and so it still is a beer, and probably will taste like crap, but I still want to try it. You know, I'm the kind of guy that live a little. It's an adventure. I want to have it. Doesn't always have to be the greatest beer in the world. Just want to try it. I'm again probably not doing this the most practical way, but hey, at least I can keep talking. If I have to do everything in the most practical way, I probably couldn't talk, because then I'd have to be so full focused that I cannot cannot see the chat anymore. This I can do with a marquee. That's easier. Boom. There we go. Can do some things in a smarter way. There we go. Boom. So now I should have my ground still. There you go. Still there. 5 bags of coffee. Deciduous, that's great. I trusted one of them at least is for me as a gift for being here on stream. If not, it should be, right? You know that, right? Don't have to tell you that. Um, oh, I forgot about that one. That is the. Where is that part of? Bridge left? Oh, yeah, there it is. Thank you so much, then, in that case. The city is great. I could always use some more coffee. I just realized that I forgot to turn on the light on the attic today. So I hope it will stay light long enough. I have a little light here. No idea if that will bring you guys enough light if we need it. So far we're okay, right? So, um, yeah, this one is gonna suck because that should not be in here. It should be in bridge left. Oof, this is gonna be tough. And I can fill this stuff up also, by the way. I should go for bridge left at the moment. Uh, let's do an I for info, B for that, and then up. Okay. The problem is now that this is not in the correct layer. It's in the ground, so I cannot just fill it up because then what would happen is that I fill up the entire canvas, and that is not something I want. And trust me, I've had it a few times, so I know what I'm talking about here. I've filled up my canvas more than once, and it's not funny. Not that you cannot Control Z it, but I just don't want to do that. I don't want to click wrong. Because basically what I want to do now is fill this up so I can actually do one time the button G and fill up this entire open space that I still have. Oh, in case you're wondering, by the way, I do this with a mouse because I simply do not have a drawing tablet. I want one. It's on my wish list. Um, my wish list is on Throne. If you want to look, or maybe you feel like you want to be generous, I will not stop you. I don't want to push you guys into anything, but you're always welcome to donate something. Anything you will donate, I will say, goes to the channel or to the game. So it always will be used for that. It will not be used for anything else. Um, just like I will not put any money into the stream or into the game that hasn't been earned by making it, basically. Um, cannot put it any easier. Anyway, that's what I mean with these kind of things. It just has to flow naturally. And I always would say to anyone who's here and does things like buy bits and subscribe and stuff like that, don't use any money that you don't have. Don't use money that is meant for your family or for being able to eat. I don't want you guys to suffer for helping the channel. Only help the channel if you can afford it. Otherwise, don't do it. I wouldn't do it either. Um, I used to subscribe to some channels. The only way I would subscribe is using Prime because I had Amazon Prime, and for Amazon Prime, it's free if you have that. Um, so you could do that every month. That's your ticket to helping somebody really. If you don't have that, don't do it unless you can afford it. Um, yeah, that's just a disclaimer. Nothing is mandatory. I don't ask anyone to donate or do anything. I'd love to get some donations for sure, but that's because I need better equipment and I wanted to have a better webcam. Now I use my phone, which is right here. I put it on top of my monitor because it's really unstable, but it's there and it works. Hey, until I have something better, I can use that. Um, I would have a better microphone so the quality of the audio is better. Can't afford it. It's on the wish list. If anybody ever donates, it's fine. If they don't, it's also fine. It might come later. Um, Also, for people who are listening here, maybe for the first time, um, what I haven't said yet is that I also want this game to be available for people with disabilities. And you might think that is very noble of me, but it's not just noble for me. I mean, it is maybe because people who are having disabilities also want to play games, but it's also because yeah, it's an untapped territory basically. Because there's a lot of people who want to play games, but basically they can't because not a lot of games are made for them. So when I saw a guy on Twitter called Victor, he's a blind game journalist, and he told me basically that there's so simple things that you could do for any of your games. If you do that, then your game will be available to any of us to play. That's what he basically told me. So I have to see where I have to be, like there. Maybe I can hold my. No, I can't because then I cannot turn it on. He basically told me there's some tips. If you follow those tips, you will be able to make your game available for every person that has a disability in the world, which is a lot, of course. And he also said to me, if you make this game in the first level, for example, available for people with disabilities, I will, if I can play it and if I like it, I will promote it to everyone I know with disabilities. You will have an entire group of people who will want to play your game when it's out. Hey, I'm not more holy than the Pope. Of course, that is nice. If a lot of people want to play this game, then a lot of people will wishlist it and later buy it, or maybe my Kickstarter campaign will just skyrocket because people want to play this stuff. And that is also something that I want. And basically, why would I want a game not to be playable by other people, right? I want everybody to be able to play it. That would be the my goal. So yeah, there's some stuff that I'm gonna have to do for that for sure. I'm gonna have to use a lot of voiceover stuff. I'm gonna have to subtitle everything, uh, and I'm gonna have to put in options for making things easier. For example, there's people who are not blind, they're not deaf, but they cannot do anything but press one button at the same time. They can only use one hand, for example. How do you play a game that has very complicated mechanics? Like if you want to jump, dash, whatever, and you do that with different buttons, how on earth are they going to play the game? So basically, he said, for those people, you need to simplify your options as well. So basically, your game becomes playable with one button or with two buttons, but no more than that. And it is possible, it's doable. Might take the fun out of it for other people, but that's why you have options. So you just do it for the people who want that. So that is something that I will also put some time in, especially on the first level, because that will basically um, be the base for my Kickstarter campaign to start. So I'm hoping that by the end of this year, I will have something that is ready um, for demoing, for setting up my Kickstarter campaign, and to fund basically the rest of the development. And I really want to make this game happen because I love my daughter and it's about her. So I have every reason to want that. So where were we? I'm getting a little lost. Okay, so bridge left goes up to there. And from there, my railing takes over, right? Yeah. So now I'm going to have to draw over railing, but in bridge left, right? And this color, I don't know if I already did that, but now I do at least. So from here. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I have in mind with the game. Um, and sometimes I think a bit of way more than I can chew. I think that's also a normal process. I think every developer in the world will have that. If not, then I'm totally wrong. People don't have it at all. But, you know, one thing is I love learning, so that's one of the advantages I guess I have. I don't mind spending time in learning things. So if I don't know how to do this, I just put time and effort into learning it in the end, and I will have an extra skill basically. So, yeah, my mouse doesn't want to move. Jesus. Where was I? There. That's for me the most hard part of doing stuff like this. Whenever I have to scroll, I cannot tell where I was because it just moves. So now I'm gonna have to check again. Where was I? There is where I was. And for me, this is funny because pixel art really, I never did that in my life until the one that did my pixel art before, because we were starting this game a while ago. Basically, actually started as a game jam also. but completely different and focused on Prometheus instead of on my daughter. And he did my pixel art and then started working live and had no more time, which is fine. He cannot help anything like that. He also has a life, and I'm not going to blame him. It's fine. He did a very good job on making Gaia, the one that you see in your right bottom of the screen, right there. Um, but yeah, there's a time of coming and a time of going. But he's still very attached to the project. We talk to each other regularly um, because he keeps involved. Even though he will not do the art, he does help with some advice, um, especially pixel art advice. Because as you can tell, I'm not that great at it. I'm just doing what I can, and that is not so much. But in the end, I get the job done, and that's all that matters, right? So now if I turn the railing off, it's still there. Right, perfect. So now I turn off my um, bridge left. Yep. So now I will have to remove this from um, my railing. So this will go here, that will go here, I think. Yeah, I'll just make it like that. It might be easier. As long as it still looks good. Then I have to erase all the parts here in the middle. I don't think in this stream today I'm going to be able to put this thing together in Unity though. Might be wrong about it, but it's already past 9. I don't think I can make it. But that's okay. We have something else to do the next time, right? It's not like we are in a hurry to get everything done already today. At least not me. Of course, it's nice if things go a little faster, especially because I'm doing things solo. It's not going fast at all. Um, and I also have a full-time job, so I cannot always work on this. But as they always say, slow and steady wins the race, right? So in the end, I will get there. And you all have been turning very quiet, so I guess you're all doing something else or lurking. That's fine. Um, don't worry about it if you're doing that. It just makes me feel a little bit more schizophrenic. But it's fine. I love myself. I can talk to myself very much. Maybe I should talk to myself more often so I know about just playing a game on the side. What game are you playing? Tell me. I need to know these things. Could be also marketing for me just to know what kind of game you play so I can basically cater to what you like. Come on, tell me, Decidius, tell me. Haha, I'm doing my day job. It has a meeting in 1.5 hours that I'm preparing some things for. What's your meeting about? Because I sometimes have meetings that I can almost fall asleep in. Not that I do that, of course, because if anybody of my work is listening, I never do that. I always pay attention. It's very important. You always should pay attention to your meetings. Adventure Quest. It was a browser game from 2004. Holy crap, that's long ago. Then again, I know some old games, very old games. I played King's Quest. I played Simon the Sorcerer. Uh, for anyone who knows Simon the Sorcerer, that was a very funny adventure game. Also pixel art, by the way. I really enjoyed that game back in the day. And I think a lot of you guys would like it too, by the way. Um, if you like retro games, then that is a very interesting game to play. If you can still find it somewhere, because they also made a 3D version out of it a long time ago. I have no clue if that's still out there somewhere, but that was horrible. The version that was actually good was not 3D at all. It was just 2D pixel art, extremely funny. Um, just like this, things like Guy Stripwood, Mighty Pirate. You must know that also. Um, and stuff like Sam and Max Hit the Road, Day of the Tentacle, all those kind of adventure games. That was awesome. We have a weekly meeting with the client to discuss our current progress, any new requirements. I was looking for the game for so long, but couldn't remember the name of it. I think there's a mobile port for it. Checking. Which game are you talking about right now? About Adventure Quest or one of the ones that I was mentioning? Because I just mentioned a bunch of them. And one of my favorite games back in the day was Baldur's Gate. Simon the Sorcerer. Yeah, Simon the Sorcerer is absolutely insanely funny. And it was also one of the first games that I had that was actually voice acted. Uh, yeah, I was immediately in love. That was for sure. Okay, so we have railing here, and there's still the white pillar in it, and the white pillar should not be in there. That should be in the bridge left part, because that's basically always going to be there, and it's in front of my railing even. I was wrong. Adventure Quest was made in 2002, still gets updates 21 years later. That's basically like World of Warcraft that never dies. Sometimes you want it to die, it just doesn't. But World of Warcraft, don't get me wrong, it's a great game. Um, but it was never really a game for me. World of Warcraft had one thing that I don't like, and that is that, how should I say that? If you are not a gamer that has been playing World of Warcraft for a very long time, I don't know if that's still the case, but it was that back then, you really could not get into it. It was almost impossible. They would just challenge you because you were a newbie, and the newbie would get killed level 2 by a level 50, and they would just think that is funny. Um, and yeah, maybe it is for them. Not so much for the other person who just had no clue what he was doing. He just came into the game just to have fun and get shot. Yet there's a mobile port for Simon the Sorcerer, at least for Android on the Google Play Store. I played Lineage 2 during the time of World of Warcraft. I used to play a lot of games during the time of World of Warcraft. I used to play Warcraft 1 and 2, which were quite different games. It's more like um, Command and Conquer games. And Dune, they were kind of the same. Um, but World of Warcraft never pulled me. Um, I did play Lord of the Rings, that game. Lord of the Rings, what was the game? Lord of the Rings MMO. I have no clue what it was called, but basically that game. And yes, I tried liking World of Warcraft also. There were, and that sounds very bad to say maybe, but there were so many kiddies in that game. People who just, they don't act like a grown up, they were just kids. And they would just degrade you because, yeah, you're new, you don't know what you're doing, and they know it. So they would just kill you, get all your loot, and you had no chance to do anything. That was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to press that button. Anyway, so yeah, I've played tons of games, and my favorite RPGs were always the one that you could do without it being MMOs. So, like I said, the games like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, um, yeah, I really love that. There's also something with Torment. I don't know what one that was, but Torment, Planescape Torment. That was it. Love that too. But yeah, there's a ton of those kind of games that used to be very successful, of course, um, and some were not so much. But World of Warcraft basically got a lot of attention, and I don't know why it was so successful. But yeah, of course it was. It was a very, what the heck? I just choose that color and it doesn't stick when I go. That's new. Hmm. Why are you not that color? Color, color, color. I choose this. I choose you. You don't want to do it. Hmm. Maybe if I draw it will be there? No. What the heck? Seriously, what the heck? This color. There we go. Now it does. So until here. Yeah, basically I have to repair my railing here because the white bar was going straight through it. It was not the intention. And that's how you see that I was not very experienced in doing pixel art. Because if I was, I would have already seen that I did that wrong a long time ago. And I didn't. And somehow this is not on the same line. That is on the same line, and this one is not. And it should be. So that means this one should go. And this one should be here. You know, when I last week, it was Thursday, I think. Thursday, we got the message that I was accepted into affiliate. It sounds like like I'm a kid here right now, but I was over the moon. I was so happy, so ecstatic that I finally did it because I was trying to get that for a while, and it happened. And now we have more options. And now that we have more options, I do not know what to do with all of them. So still need to figure out what I can do, what works, what doesn't work, um, how to generate some income for this channel, and it's all new, and it feels like I'm having a new toy to play with. You know, it's funny, but it is how it works. Uh, so now I should fill up the gap here and bridge left, and then we'll see if it goes in the correct place. Should go, but you never know. You felt RuneScape was a more fun game with all the skills. That is one of the few MMOs that I didn't play. And I know I probably should now be ashamed. And if I have to, I'm sorry. I do feel ashamed, but I couldn't play all of them. um, and RuneScape just kind of escaped me, if you will. I think this is wrong. Railing should be behind this one, so I'm going to have to move that layer over. Don't know what that was. Um, so ground should be before this. Um, but railing should be behind the bridge left. There. Yep, that's better. Now I can do G and go bridge left and fill this up. There we go. And now everything is in the correct layer on that little part at least. And I can start experimenting a little bit more into Unity, I guess. Let's see if I have everything like I want it right now. Bridge lift moving is that part. That is correct, but it should still have its ground layer separate. Um, I think I start basically with just a ground layer and then put the other things later. Because we're going to have a ground to walk on. That's this part. It will be this part. And then it will become also this part, but that's movable. So I think I will do it first without the top parts, just to have a feel for it. Half Moon, you have to go. You have to leave now, sadly. Hope to catch you next time again. Just be sure that you're never late, nor will you be early. Okay? If you do that, always welcome. I'm kidding, of course, Half Moon. You're always welcome in my chat, and you're always welcome with my streams. And if you want, by the way, I don't know if you knew that already, Half Moon, but I now also have a Discord channel. If you look in my channel page, you will see a link to the Discord. And if you want, just hop on in, and you can also talk to me outside of the streams. That's for anyone else, by the way. Also, if you want to have a chat about the game or about anything else, feel free to add yourself to the Discord channel. Um, I have some more opportunity, of course, to talk to you there than I have here, because I don't have always time to stream, but I do have most of the time a chance to look at the Discord. So feel welcome. Um, also, there's the thing that I also have to do later is I have to make people VIPs and stuff like that, and maybe add some different roles to the channel so I can make people who come back maybe a VIP or something, give more rights. I added a mod bot. Still don't know if it works. Don't know how it works. Don't understand the thing of it. But yeah, like this pixel art stuff, I have to figure out how to use Twitch bots, set up my Twitch channel, set up my Discord servers, all this stuff. I also have now an Instagram for the game, well, basically for Dragon Spirit games, that I don't post enough on yet, but I'm trying to get a little bit more active there also. I have my Twitter to maintain, so solo deving is very tough. Yeah, setting up Twitch is almost a job on its own. That's true. Setting up Twitch is almost a job on its own. Setting up YouTube to do it properly is also almost a job on its own. Um, Doing your Photoshop for your YouTube preview is a job on its own. Um, there's stuff to do all the time. And then you have a full time job, two kids, and a wife. Don't have to feel sorry for me, but it is a lot. So what I'm gonna do probably is gonna export some of these layers so I can actually import them into Unity so I can start experimenting, I guess. And then it means that with the moving part, I'm gonna, um, why is that even, what is it? Oh, it's locked. Okay, I was figuring out like, can I do anything with this one? I'm gonna have to also put this one in a ground layer, I would say later. Uh, but it's the ground moving part. And I think that's the easiest to start with. So basically, we'll start with the brick wall I already have, put the railing in, put this box in, which I can do already. The railing, I can make it full, so all the way until here. Then I will have this ground part, and then I will have to work on this ground part, which can even be for now just a cube, I don't care. And then do the mechanics. If that works, I can expand on that, I guess. Um, so I'm going to have to turn off a lot of layers now to start exporting things. So I have different images for it, different sprites. I think I'll start with the ground. So, looks like nothing, right? What a terrible ground I have for my game. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to tweak that later. Going to have to look better. I don't know how yet, but it's going to have to. Export as brick. Nothing like brick wall. This is ground. Ground. Draw. Bridge. Left. There's something else there. It doesn't need to be there. We're putting it in the correct folder. Yes, we're putting it in the correct folder. Okay. Export. I know. I don't care. So let's go Unity for a while. Oh, there we go. Unity has loading, loading, loading. Come on. Anything that is in Unity takes forever to load because it has to basically rewrite all your scripts. Come on, give me my Unity. I want my Unity. I can see it for a split second because it's still reloading here. There we go. Now I see it. There. Okay, so we have ground, and in the ground we have a drawbridge. We have a bridge left, a bridge right. Uh, those I want to hide. I don't want to see those. And they should not do anything. Then I want to create a new layer. New sprite, I guess. No, create empty. Bridge left ground. Okay. So let's add a component to this. This is going to be a sprite render. This is going to be on the layer ground. It's important because that's where we can walk. I must miss something. Sprite render. Sprite square. Oh, now I see it. That's weird. I didn't see anything before. It was just empty. Anyway, we now should have in my art folder ground drawbridge left. Let's try it. Let's see how that looks. Looks horrible. Max, that looks absolutely hideous. There it is. Oh, that's the only thing that I don't like about this. It creates the entire thing as if it was that big, which it isn't. I hope that will not create me problems, because it shouldn't be an issue really. Plus, I probably need to do something with the sprite to make it look better. Where the heck are you? Always click the wrong one for those things. It was not that one. Import mode. No. Advanced. Which one was it? Texture. It changed everything. Point, no filter. Yeah, that should be correct. This should be also fine. It doesn't look like it's very, how do you say it, sharp. Maybe it's the pixels per unit. Mesh type full rect, that was also an option you should always set. Apply. Make difference, I don't know. Not really. It's really annoying with the fact that this thing is so big. I'm gonna have to look at that because that's not supposed to become such a huge issue. Oh, come on. Laptop, don't do this to me. You're too slow. Let's make this 2. That's too much. 3.20. two. That looks like it's in place. But as you can see, it's not very sharp. And there's something about that, and I don't remember what the reason is for it. Because I didn't scale it, so it shouldn't be bigger than it was. That is not the reason, that's for sure. Yeah, that's something I will figure out later. Because I can, again, keep going forever with that kind of stuff. For some reason, this doesn't have that problem, and I also exported them from there. Anyway, Control D, I'm going to make another one of that. I can keep going here and make a snap here somewhere. So that already looks a little better. Then I have to go to my sprite again. And look how this was actually before. So it turns into the white part. So I don't need to put in more at the moment. Because the brick wall is underneath that there. Okay. Gray box should be in front. We have a railing that we want to export. So brick wall, ground, bridge height. Gray box. Turn it on. And I probably am gonna just, in this case, make a new image out of this so I don't have that stupid thing that I just had. Because that looked a little bit terrible. Don't know if that's the actual size, but I guess so. And export as gray box. It doesn't need a left or a right because it's basically just that size. Happy it didn't have to reload for that, or it just saved it in the wrong place, I guess. Must have saved it in the wrong place. File, export, or save as. Save. Save as, yes. Gray box. Let's call it drawbridge. Gray box. It was getting really dark. It's good that I have my desk light still. So I have some light and you don't feel like I'm sitting in the dark. um, Now we will have to reload. Yep, reloading, I guess. Just look at that then. Please let me have that. I want to see it. This is taking forever. Well, one thing is for sure, this drawbridge functionality will not be done in this stream. It will not be finished, at least in this stream. Um, but yeah, it's getting there. Why are you not coming now? It doesn't want to become active. Still holding on. Okay. Hydrate, people. Hydrate. Hydrate. It's making my laptop slow also. I saw myself very slow. With all the shadows in the background, you're now a shadow dragon spirit. Whoa. Yes, I am. And if I put the light full on my face, I'm a fire dragon spirit. So, you ready to come? Come on. Just give me. What's it loading now? Hold on. Busy. Jesus Christ. Sorry if that offends any of you. I'm not the most religious person in the world, so I sometimes use that a little bit too easy, but it's really annoying how long this takes just to put one sprite in. Again, it's loading something. I'm getting annoyed. Anyway, maybe it's interesting to see at the moment what the script was for the drawbridge, because I already have one. You guys might like to see that. So basically, I here have a script, and it's far from perfect. I was going to say perfectly terrible. Um, and what it does, basically, you have a left pivot point, and that's basically the rotation part. So let's say this is the rotating part of the bridge. This moves. Then this here is my rotating point. So it will rotate along this axis, nothing else. So that's my pivot point. And the right has a different one, of course. It's on the other side. So I set those up, and from that, I basically start to rotate and raise my drawbridge. And in the end, I never lowered it at all. So um, it was absolutely easy to do in the end. Um, thought it would be super difficult, but this part was easy. But then, of course, it didn't have all the intricate details that I will have now. And I'm afraid of doing it with the rest when all the other parts are in there, and then having to rotate and see what will happen, because it might be that one part of the bridge shoots to the moon, the other one rotates as it should, and then you have no idea why it does what. That's basically my fear for now. So it is at the moment working, and that's what I wanted, but it's not doing yet what I need it to do. And Jesus, this is still doing something. I don't know what it's doing. Is that for all of you also? If you do anything in Unity and you open up something and you add something to the project, does it take you forever to load? Because I cannot seem to get now to my Unity without it loading again something. It's again doing something. This must be my Sprite importer that I have. I just recently updated that to the newest version, so it should be pretty stable, but my Unity is already pretty slow, but this is insane. And if you don't understand why I want new equipment, there you go. This basically says it all. There we go. We have it at least. I'm afraid of doing the same with the railing. I don't think I will do that today anymore, because if I try to do that again, I'm waiting again for half an hour. My goodness. Oh, by the way, if you've seen my bakery, the bakery that I made, the way I found out that it's not working the way I want to, and it doesn't look good because it looks too much like it falls forward, is because when I put it in here, it just totally felt out of place. It's not working. It's not the way it should be. I kind of haven't tried the Rijksmuseum yet. I kind of want to see it. Should I import that? What do you guys think? Should I try? Should I have a look if that, once the script loads at least, if that looks okay in the in the background? Because if I put that on the foreground, it will take over the entire scene, I think. If I want my laptop to go on fire, then sure. Right. I always say live a little, living on the edge. Well, before I do, Control S is my friend. Even generating the preview is taking it hard. Full rect. Where was it again? Clamp. Yeah, that's correct. Point no filter is also correct. Pixels per unit 100 should be fine. Apply. I'm gonna live a little here. Just see where we get. There's still something in there that I don't know what it's for. Huh. I must have a layer still in that that is different than this. See, here it's gone. I didn't do any settings for a PNG. Change the sprite. Anyway, let's try. There we go. Look how big that is. That is cool though. I kind of like it. It looks good. I'm gonna have to move it. Let me check. If I move it, for example, here, move it down. I don't want that other layer to show. I move to the right. See that I'm still working on an outline here. Yeah, it's big, right? Has to be because the Rijksmuseum is really big. But I want it to basically, I'm zooming in too much there. That's not good. I want it to look big, and now I want it to be obscured by something that I don't have yet. That's a little hard. If I have it like here, and I can make that wall grow somehow or something, that will show you a little bit of what it will look like once it's there. And yes, like for sure, there's a lot that still needs to be done for this building, and I need to do a lot with this world still because I'm not really ready with it. And this is the funnest bug. If you were not there in the beginning of the stream, I showed this already. My water reflection, if I click it now, it moves into place. It basically goes out of place for a long time and then basically, boom, there it goes. Because this is how the reflection is supposed to look. And it shouldn't be in the other part. Anyway, I'm kind of curious if I can walk on my part of the bridge that I just put in. What are the things that it's the entire size of that structure? Because that would suck. Because if that's the case, I'm just going to walk against it. I probably will not have anything like that because it's got no box collider yet. Probably cannot stand on that at all. I will just fall in the water. My animations also don't work anymore. I had something that I was refactoring, but I'll fix that soon. Yeah, so there's no box collider yet on the ground part there. But if I put a box collider there, let's see what happens. No, not a big box collider 2D. There we go. I want to see where the box collider is. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. If I do it like this, it's gonna not be fun at all. And I'm not gonna have to have a box collider here, but I'm gonna have to have what's that one again? Not box collider, but oh my god, there's several colliders. So collider. That's a polygon collider 2D. That's what I want. And that's actually working quite nicely. Look how it is. It's perfect. That's where I want it to be. Unity, you're smarter than I am. So now I can walk on that most likely. Let's try. I should be able to walk on it now. Sorry for all the waiting, guys. That's never the intention. And trust me, I've closed off a lot of things already. And even then, I can hardly get it to work. Enter play mode, enter play mode. Yes, enter play mode. For God's sakes, enter play mode. Can I stand on it? Yeah, I can. There you go, guys. I can stand on it. That's perfect. And it does rotate. That's good. Just my animations are off. That's okay. I do have them. I will figure that out. I was working on getting an animation state machine for the game because I don't want to have the animator hell. Maybe you know it. If you don't, it's that thing. If you want to do it properly, you'd have to do um, this, make transition, go to run, put in some reason why it would go, and etc., and go back and forth and do all of those. I really don't like that, so I don't want to have all this spiderweb stuff. I well, we're almost at 10, and I was thinking to stop around that time. And as you can see, my water reflection is really obnoxious. It keeps going. If I click it, it goes back into place. I have no clue why it does that. It shouldn't. That is absolutely not the way to go. Oh, by the way, I've never said anything about this, but this is my preferred way of setting up my project in Unity. Um, I like it because you can basically see your scene set up, so you can here you can set up everything you want. You can do whatever you want with it and start drawing your level. Here you can see the preview of what it will look like in game. Here you have your hierarchy where everything is that is in your game that you're working with. And here you have everything that is in your project, and you will always have your inspector here. If you don't like it, it's fine. You can also do like this, the default layout. I don't like this layout. It's for me, it's clunky and doesn't really work because then you have your scene here, but to see your preview, you have to switch to game. I don't have it all in one view. I don't like it, so I made a what I call a professional layout. There's plenty of different ones, but this is what I like personally. The only thing you should always think of if you ever switch scenes in Unity, this will be collapsed and it looks like everything's empty, but it's still there. Just a small little tip before I'm going to end this stream. I hope you guys will want to stay here to do a raid. I will see who is online. I have no clue who's still here. So let me have a look. Oh, I already know who I'm gonna raid. I'm gonna do that now. Always have to remember the names, and that's a little harder. Um, you have to write it properly, right? Arigato. You're welcome, One Lion. So I'm gonna rate Setolix, and he's also a very interesting streamer. If you haven't seen him before, stick around, and I hope you will enjoy his stream. Bye, Half Moon, and I will sure try to be again back next Monday. If I can't, you will know. But and maybe see you in my Discord server or somewhere else. you're always welcome. I have Twitch, I have Twitter, I have Instagram, I have Discord, I have a lot of stuff. So see you guys around. See you next time. Have fun.